Our next guest has interviewed everyone from Fat Joe to President Joe on his radio show, The Breakfast Club, and he has a TV show, too. It's called Hell of a Week. You can watch it Thursdays on Comedy Central. Please welcome Charlamagne the God.
Couple thousand people in Brooklyn. I'm not nervous at all. What's up,
Jimmy? You shouldn't be nervous. You're a veteran. You're a god, for God's sake. You started, like I did, in radio,
yes.
And you're still in radio. You still have a nationally syndicated morning radio show.
That's right, The Breakfast Club.
You've got... I cannot imagine doing a television show and doing... I think really just you and Ryan Seacrest would do that, but that's got to be...
Steve Harvey did it for a minute.
Steve Harvey did, yeah. Steve Harvey had like 35 shows on the air simultaneously.
Yeah. I mean, I've been broke, and I lived with my mom at like 31 years old after being fired from radio 4 times.
Yeah.
So I'm not turning nothing down. I'm not turning nothing down.
You never forget that, do you?
Never.
When they would fire you, did you always know you were going to get fired?
No, because they call you in the office and they say things like, oh, we're moving in another direction.
Yeah, right.
You know? And they never really tell you why.
Yeah.
But I know myself.
Yeah. Did they ever go into your office and make sure you didn't...
Office?
Oh, you didn't even have an office?
No, I suffer from PTSD for things like that, so I never keep an office, because you never know. To this day, I don't have an office. After 13 years of Breakfast Club, I do not have an office, because that is the worst feeling in the world when you got this little box with nothing in it but like raisins, you know, and a couple of BS awards they gave you. Like,
this is interesting. So you're saying you can never be removed from your office if you don't have one. Great. By the same logic, though, like you can never get in a car accident if you don't have a car. Do you have a car?
I do.
Oh, okay. All right.
I do have a car.
I can't believe we've never met. I'm surprised that we've never met.
We got a lot of mutual associates, you know.
We do.
Van Lathan, Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish, yeah.
I saw you at Tiffany's Black Mitzvah a couple of years ago.
Tiffany Haddish had a bar mitzvah. Yeah, she called it a black mitzvah.
Yeah.
You know, she said it was a black mitzvah, but it turned out to really be a bar mitzvah. And honestly, I thought she was joking when she invited. I was like, oh, this is funny. And then I got there, and it was very serious. Like, she's Jewish.
Yeah, for me, it was very black.
Was it?
So it's probably because I didn't know what to look for on the Jewish side. So to you, it probably was very Jewish. To me, it was very black, but that's why it was a black mitzvah.
You work a lot, too, don't you? You've got a lot going on. Yeah, the podcast as well.
Yeah, I have a podcast network called the Black Effect Podcast Network. It's a joint venture with iHeartRadio. So we're partnered with a lot of great podcasts, like, you know, the 85 South Show and All the Smoke and Drink Champs, you know, Horrible Decisions.
Yeah, and then...
Nobody familiar?
No, they don't know.
Oh, this is gentrified Brooklyn. Oh, okay.
But I wonder, like, do you run out of topics? Do you run out of things to talk about when you're on the air that much?
That's a great question. It's not that I run out of things to talk about. It's that I run out of things that I care to talk about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
'Cause it's like, I'm 44 years old, I'm married, I got 4 daughters. Like, some of this stuff I really don't care about. You know what I mean? So you got to come in the morning and act like you care when you really don't. And I'm really, like, not good at pretending.
Yeah.
So I'm getting to the point where I'm like, I don't care, guys. You know? That's the only thing.
Yeah. How old are your daughters?
14, 7, 4, and actually, the last one will be 1 tomorrow.
Wow. Oh,
yeah,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And my third just turned 4 Friday.
Do they call you Charlamagne the Dad?
No. Nah, they have no idea who that is. My oldest daughter understands now because she's in high school. She's a freshman in high school. And I realized when I went to like the back to school function that they have for parents. Yeah. So there was a lot of people there that listened to the Breakfast Club, and I met this one lovely couple who let me know that their son is in my daughter's homeroom, and he calls her by her name in The God. Yes. Yes. My 7-year-old is like, Daddy, you're in the TV. Why are you in the TV?
Yeah.
And that's actually a very good question, because I have no idea why I'm in the TV.
Are you having fun doing the TV show?
Oh yeah, very much so.
You you changed titles on the TV show,
Yes.
and the TV show is different now than it was when you started out.
Yeah.
Why did you switch the title of the show?
Because corporate told me to. corporate said that Hell of a Week read more like a late night talk show. And
Hell of
like,
a Week, yeah.
Who am I to argue with the people that do this for a living?
It is a good title.
I think it's a good title.
Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's not like I had a choice in the matter.
No, you didn't. You just went along with it. So you've had a lot of people. I know you have a lot of politicians, a lot of obviously musicians, a lot of pop culture figures. And I know this is a question you get asked a lot. And I'm not talking about like somebody like Oprah or something like that everybody want to have on the show. But is there somebody off the radar that you've always wanted to have on one of your many shows?
I don't know how off the radar it is, but the children's author, Judy Blume.
Judy Blume.
Yeah.
You're a Judy Blume fan?
Oh, huge Judy Blume fan. Because my mother's an English teacher. You know what I'm saying? And
really?
And when I was young, she would always tell me to read things that don't pertain to me. So when I was in the library in elementary school, I see these covers of books with, you know, these little white girls on the front, and I'm like, well, I don't think that pertains to me, you know? So I started reading, like, and the Book It program. Salute to the Book It program, where you had to read 4 books to get a free pizza. Yeah. And so, I guess that's why they've been saying I look like a Ninja Turtle for so long, because I really do like pizza. And so I used to like just run through Judy Blume and Beverly Cleary books all the time. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. And what's so interesting about like Judy Blume books is like the stories. Like even though those were, they were rooted in like the experience of little white girls, they were anybody's experience because she had a lot of things of socially redeeming value in those books. Like, Blubber was about, obesity, or Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret was about spirituality. So it's just like, I feel like I got a lot of my early storytelling ability from reading those books. So
wow.
Yeah,
Have you passed those books along to your daughters?
Oh, what's interesting is I guess I talk about Judy Blume a lot, and I've talked about her in like my books. Mm-hmm. And she actually sent me an autographed copy of Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret, like maybe about 4 or 5 years ago. So at the time, my daughter was like 9, and I gave her Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret to read, and she wasn't feeling it.
She didn't like it?
Yo, it really hurt my feelings, like to the point where I was like, I might have to get her blood tested. Like how do you not like It's Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret? So what I want to do is I want her to read it again in a couple of years, because I don't know if she didn't like it just because she didn't like it or because she's rebelling against daddy. Because she's at that phase.
Yeah, right. Yeah, sure, of course.
She's been there for about 5 years. They say daughters grow out of it. I don't know when, but it's really hurtful when it's happening.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah.
What I remember about Judy Blume is I don't know why I only remember like the dirty stuff. I remember a book called Wifey.
Oh, okay.
Wifey, which was just like as I recall, we were passing it around the school bus, and there was a lot of porn.
I don't think that was Judy Blume, bro. Wifey?
Yeah, I think it was Judy Blume.
That sounds like Penthouse or something.
Believe me, when it comes to dirty stuff, I don't forget. Okay. I remember, yeah.
I thought you was gonna say the I must increase my bus part.
No, was that from the book?
That was Are You There, God, It's Me, Margaret. That's what was the young lady who was trying to, before surgery was popular, people used to do affirmations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that from like Laverne and Shirley or something like that. But
yeah, I flipped it. I say I must increase my thrust.
And is it working?
No, it didn't work. I'm very regular. Right.
What did you do before radio? Is that your first job?
My first real I ain't gonna say real corporate job. I worked a lot of odd jobs, you know what I'm saying? Because when I was running the streets in Moncks Corner, I was doing things I had no business doing, like selling crack. And so it's like when I wanted to like create positive energy in my life, because there was this acronym that Wu-Tang used to say, it was PEACE. Positive energy activates constant elevation. And so I just started working a bunch of odd jobs. So I worked at like a factory called Industrial Acoustics Company, and I did telemarketing. I was the guy who would call your house and try to sell you 12 CDs for a penny. And I worked at, me and my now wife worked at a clothing store called Demo in the mall, and I worked at Taco Bell for like 2 weeks till my sister fired me. 2 weeks? Yeah.
Why? Did you quit?
No, my sister fired me.
Your sister fired you?
Yeah, my older sister, my older sister Teresa, yeah, she fired me after a couple of weeks.
That's hardcore to fire your own brother.
I deserved it. I deserved it.
Well, it's great to have you here. It's great to get to know you a little bit.
Absolutely.
Congratulations on all your incredible success.
Thank you.
Including the television show. It's called Hell of a Week. with Charlamagne the God. Thursday nights, 11:30.